Well, it feels good to be back up here, a winner, a champion. Got the silver WBC over here, and I'm proud of that. Looks beautiful. As Lou DeBella explained, we worked really hard tonight. We worked really hard before we got here. We knew what we were up against in Adrian Granados, and he brought it all. He brought it all. We gave it right back to him. Every time he came at me, my dad's instructions were to hit him and turn, make the fight look easy, make it clean. And that's what I try to do. I think about maybe the 5th or 6th round is where I hit him flush with a jab, and I felt a little sting in my hand. And it just kind of continued from there. It wasn't every punch that I hit him with, but periodically throughout the fight, each round I would feel something. And I actually came back after maybe the 5th or 6th round, and my dad said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "What's wrong?" "Nothing." "Well, tell me what's wrong." I said, "Nothing." "All right." And then he continued to coach. But by the 10th round, I think it was pretty evident that, what was going on was, I really hurt my hand, my left hand, my jab hand, my best hand, my favorite hand. And I really did. At that point, when I hurt my hand and I couldn't use it, I kind of felt, I felt the feeling of, what am I going to do? And my dad told me exactly what to do. I've thanked my dad for pushing me through the last 3 rounds. It was keeping me focused, keeping me in the right frame of mind, and pulling out the gut that Lou alluded to that you saw in the ring tonight. So I'm very proud of my performance. Definitely had to take a look at my performance and make sure it was everything that I thought it was in the moment, and obviously right all the wrongs and try to keep cleaning it up. But right now we're looking at just doing our post-camp, which is recovery and a little bit of movement as well, and doing the best we can to get back going as soon as possible. Doctor said x-ray this. He says he thinks it may be fractured, and get a good look at it and rest it as long as possible. So that's what we are prepared to do, but we are also prepared to fight Keith Thurman as soon as possible. I don't have that WBC silver title for no reason. They told me what I got after this, and that's Keith Thurman, so we're going to do our best to get that. Any questions for myself, my dad? You got anything you want to add? Did I say it all? Come on up here. Come on up here.
Please raise your hand for a mic.
Yeah, he did say it all, but I will say this. Throughout Shawn's career in sports, not just boxing, but track and field, football, and he's played all sports, basketball, and he's never had an injury. It was one of those situations that he's never dealt with before, and I saw a look on his face that I've never seen before that told me that he didn't know how to deal with it. He didn't know how to deal with it because he's never had it. So if you play football from the time you're 8 years old, every season through high school, and you played it on the high level, USA Today Player of the Week and Old Spice Red Zone Player of the Year, and you've never, been injured, if you've boxed all these years and never had any injuries during a competition, it's a shock. And it was a shock to him. And the only thing that I could think about at that time was to try to keep him focused and use what he had yet left, which was his conditioning, his physical tools, as far as his movement and things like that, and his right hand. I thought about switching him to southpaw, but we've never fought southpaw before. So
I thought about it too.
You thought about it?
Yeah.
So we didn't do that.
You might see me. I'll switch a little bit now, go right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I switched just a little bit now and went back.
Yeah. But he made it through it. We were counting down not just the rounds, but we were counting down the punches that would land, and I was watching his face wince up, and we were also counting down the minutes. I had one of my guys in the corner telling me when it was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, when it was 2 minutes, when it was a minute and a half, and we were just trying to use the strategy of landing the punches that we could land without injuring it even more. And he continued to try to throw it, but He made it through it. I'm very proud of him for making it through it. I don't know anybody else that could have made it through it in that situation. And the flip side of that, great fighter that we fought tonight, fought with all of his heart and tenacity and grit and everything that he had, and I give him props and respect. But the flip side of that is, if Shawn had succumbed to the injury, this kid would be the WBC champion without winning a round, pretty much without without winning the majority of the rounds at all. He might have pulled out the last couple because we were being really defensive and moving a lot. But I thought that would have been a shame that Shawn had not trained just for this fight, but his whole entire life for these type of moments, and to lose it to an injury. So I'm glad and proud that you were able to push yourself through that.
Great heart, first and foremost. Congrats. Great chin, obviously. Gotta ask, I spoke to Keith Thurman while he was here during the Charlo fights. He pretty much ruled out, any comeback fight against a big name fighter. He said he fought 2 dogs in a row and he needed to fight a puppy, verbatim. So how will the scheduling work out, and are you gonna have to do another fight like this before you fight Keith Thurman, get that rematch?
To answer that question as simple as possible, I'm gonna let my dad take over. We're gonna do our best to make that fight happen. I understand he's coming off a long layoff, and he wants to make sure that he's fully prepared for someone like Showtime Shawn Porter. We'll do our best to respect that and do our best to give him the time that he needs, but with the understanding that we want to fight you and making that fight happen. Other than that, I'm gonna do what I always do, get back to training, and whoever they tell me to fight, that's who I'm gonna fight. Even with Adrian Granados, not a lot of people knew Adrian Granados, but we came here and we both put on a fantastic performance. I just landed more cleaner, harder shots than him.
Shawn, over here. Back.
Well, as far as that's concerned, he already fought a title eliminator here in this building and beat Andre Berto. And he fought another title eliminator tonight. I don't know a lot of fighters that would do that, especially this day and age. They may have done it back in the days, but not here in this day and age. He shouldn't have to do that again. He shouldn't have to go through anything like that again. What he put himself through tonight shows that not just the physical part of it, but the mental part of it that it takes for him to push through something like that. He's deserving of the fight with Keith Thurman. So we will allow him to. We respect him as champion and respect the fact that he was out with an injury as well. We'll allow him to sort that out the best way him and his handlers deem necessary and fight who they feel that they should fight. I understand his thought process, not wanting to come back and fight a top fighter at this point. Let him do that, and then when the dust clears, we'll be there waiting. We're just going to work on other things like our right hand and both legs, and the mental sharpness will maintain that as well. So, but we'll be waiting when he's done. We won't fight anybody else until he's ready to fight.
Shawn, over here.